Hello guys, welcome to this video. My name is Oscar Kiteki, a political analyst. Today we are going to examine the state of state institutions in Kenya. To start with this video, I will tell you a short story. In a small village, there was one man. This man had a lot of knowledge in construction and engineering, but at the same time, this man was a very fluent drunkard. So when the rain came, the bridge was destroyed, but this man did not pay any attention to the bridge. He just continued to drink fluently, leaving the villagers who had no skills or any expertise in construction to make makeshift bridges. So when the huge rains came, people always died because the bridge was not strong enough to sustain or maybe hold their weight. So the same scenario is happening in Kenya. State institutions inherit their character from the state. If the state is not effective or if the state is weak, state institutions become weak as a result. We always say that leadership starts at the top. If the top is not manifesting strong leadership, then it is obvious that at the bottom we will not have strong leadership. We have to realize this and strengthen our state institutions instead of privatizing them. We have to deal with institutional illnesses such as corruption and godfatherism for jobs, even tribalism. These are some of the problems that are hindering our institutions from becoming or delivering on their full promise. So what we don't need here is not to privatize these organizations, but to deal with the root of these mighty losses and this ineffective running. So the state can run these organizations very well compared to what private individuals will do. So if we want the state to run these institutions well, the state must establish firm values and punish those that do not adhere to values, maybe values that will lead to state corporations becoming strong. And one way of doing this is to fight impunity with all our strength, because if we want to have a strong state, if we want to have strong systems and strong values, we have no choice but to fight every wing and every bias. Fighting corruption means we have to be fair. We don't have to say this one I know is my relative, this one is my friend. We have to be firm in applying the law, and one way of doing this is to strengthen our judicial system and also to make sure that the judiciary is well equipped to process cases in due time. It is also important to make sure that we eliminate the rot within the judiciary so that justice becomes available to all and each individual of this country. So I believe the best way for us right now is to strengthen our state institutions and make them stronger, because the interest of the common humanity is better when the state has control of some of these corporations. So what we need here is to prosecute people who cannot explain cash flows in the organizations and they are in a position to explain. We have to realize that the debt burden is going to kill us if we do not change some of the things that we are doing. We cannot afford to lose a coin anymore. We cannot afford to have ghost workers anymore in this country, because it is not forgivable. Because right now our economic system is suffering because of the ill practices of a few men. Right now the globe is in crisis and everything. Right now we cannot afford to lose some of our revenue because of ill practices of some people. So my proposal is this: what we need is not to privatize these state institutions. What we need is to have a state that is capable of controlling its people, that is capable of directing and making sure that laws are followed in this country, because that is the only way. Because even if we privatize and we have lawlessness and people can get away with impunity, the same situation will repeat itself. So the best way here is to strengthen our state and make sure that the state takes action against individuals who portray themselves as being mightier than the law. So this war requires willpower. We cannot win this war if we say this one is my friend, let him be spared. No, that way we are just going to recycle what has been going on years in, years out. So if we want to solve this problem, we need to approach it with justice and fairness. It is not to say that this is my friend, this one will not suffer the cost of his actions. No, we have to be objective in this war if we have to develop this country. We cannot say some people have to be spared because they are friends. No, we have to be fair and just, and being fair and just means fighting corruption wherever we see it, no matter who does it. That is the only way, because if we keep on pardoning corruption, very soon this country will not be able to sustain the wage bill, and that is not good if we want to position ourselves in such a position that will enable us to attain the vision 2030 that we all as Kenyans have. So therefore we need strong leadership. We need people to be prosecuted and be punished instantly. We cannot tolerate corruption, especially in this age and time. Right now we have to use everything at our disposal, including our technology and information systems, to track down and punish these corrupt individuals who are bringing this country backwards. Some people think that they are too mighty, or maybe the law cannot reach them, but the law will reach them sooner or later. So we need to strengthen our institutions so that these people that manifest institutional ills are brought to book. If we have to see a Kenya developing, we have to fight corruption, because these are the people that are bringing us down. If we want to see Mama Mboga participating fluently in the stock market, we have to fight these institutional ills, because it is very unfortunate that some Kenyans study and even get degrees and they cannot get jobs and end up being frustrated around. This is not right, and maybe this is also brings negative energy around, which is not right. Because if we fight corruption, as some the late president say, we lose around 2 billion daily due to corruption. This 2 billion can even employ very many youths. It can even employ about 100 youths for 10 years, so in one day. So if we fight corruption, that is to understand it very well, if we fight corruption, we are going to have an opportunity to develop this country. And this war begins when we realize that Kenya is bigger than each and every one of us, that the laws that we established have to be followed regardless of the position in which someone is in. So fighting impunity, first of all, means being fair, and justice as fairness. No individual is above the law, because as Kenyans we all established and assented to the new constitution, and let the new constitution be the way. We cannot afford to safeguard others and also to spare others in the name of family or friendship, because in the end of the day, when the whole country is in ruins, the rich and the poor will suffer alike. When foreign debt become too heavy for us, everyone suffers, because you cannot be enjoying and someone, your neighbor, is suffering very, very much. This because we are all connected. Suffering will, maybe a peasant is suffering everyone suffers, because even if you are in your mansion, you become insecure because the masses are suffering very very much. So what we need here, we need strong institutions first of all to fight these issues. We also need to create strong accountability bodies that are able to report in a timely manner. We also need to stop the behavior of threatening others or even making others lose their jobs because they have ethics. These are some of the things that we have to do if we have to reach our vision 2030. We have to take action today. There is no more time to wait. We cannot waste time. We need to start now, and start very very fast, because going far requires some sacrifices. We cannot grow if we are not willing to sacrifice here and now. It is not about where someone is coming from, it is where we are going as a nation. We are going towards vision 2030, and we cannot go there if we keep on accommodating people that are wasting public resources and dragging us backwards. We cannot afford to take one step forward and 20 steps backwards anymore. So this is what I believe we need to do as a country if we want to see the full promise of democracy manifest itself in this country. Thank you.